Hey, it's me, Steve. It is December 20th, 2017, day before the winter solstice. It's about 12:19 out, and this is just going to be a general rant. This is just my opinion on something, and it's going to involve politics and the talk and rhetoric of dissolving the United States. So if you don't want to listen, just stop right now. All right? But when I talk about politics, I'm not going to talk about polarization of politics or anything like that. I'm going to leave it more general. Right? And I've actually wanted to talk about this for a while now, but I first want to thank everyone on YouTube who realized I cut my beard down to like 1 inch. The people I work with haven't even noticed, and they see me every day. Anyway, somebody brought up on Facebook that we should dissolve the United States, give all the states their independence. There's a lot of problems with that, all right? Even dividing the U.S. into two nations would have massive problems, but 50, just from a logistical and infrastructural standpoint, that is going to be a nightmare. All right? It is. For the past 100 years, we have integrated our electrical systems, our road systems, our sewer systems, our pipeline systems, all of that running through the United States. All right? To suddenly drop and cut 50 states out and give them nation status is going to wreak havoc on that. All right? Not to mention traveling from one state or another. I very often go from Indiana to the UP in Michigan. I don't want to have to cross 1, 2, 3 borders just to get to my cabin. That's retarded. Okay? Not only that, but just doing that, as infrastructure and all that other stuff aside, it's going to greatly weaken the stability of the Western Hemisphere to the nth degree. It's going to make things, for an entire generation at least, things are just going to be completely messed up, all right? Until something else starts to happen, all right? As these states would be doing their own thing within a couple of years, states like Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Kansas, Nebraska are going to be faced with a hard reality. That hard reality is that they cannot survive on their own. All right? They can't. I don't want a bunch of third world nations running up the middle of this continent, and neither should anyone else. So what's going to happen? Well, once they realize that, they're going to start trying to conglomerate and form other nations with other states, okay? Because they can't survive on their own, all right? And you might have people in one part of, say, Alabama, say in the Northeast, that don't want to be with whatever nation the rest of the state wants to be with. So they're going to try to secede and create more problems. This isn't realistic at all. I don't know why people think this is even an option. All right. I mean, just since I've been alive, when I was born, there were 167 recognized independent nations. And in that 40 plus years, we are now up to 195. That's an addition of 28 new nations. I know the Soviet Union has been dissolved. I realize that. But in that time, only one nation has become unified, and that's Germany. Right? So we are dividing as it is. We are not unifying. All this talk of free market ideas, whatever the hell that means, and, the ability to communicate on a global scale and all that is somehow uniting us. It's actually doing quite the opposite, because now you're creating more ideological divisions, if you will. And so more and more people want their own autonomy, because they realize that the guy they're attached to isn't looking out for their best interest. So maybe we should either go independent or whatever we need to do. All right? I mean, it's basically, it's getting ridiculous, because even though we have all this information and technology, you always have groups of people who think farting to the east is superior to farting to the west. All right? And as long as we have that tribal mindset, we are never going to be unified. Okay? And I get really, really sick of hearing American politicians talk about dividing the United States. We have a word for that. It's called treason, okay? And federal representatives are supposed to preserve the union, not divide it. What we really need more than anything is standards for our politicians, because we don't have any at all, other than age requirement in the case of the president. He has to be a natural born citizen. Other than that, there aren't any. All right. And I often have said this: what's the only job where you can earn six figures, have a third grade education, be an alcoholic, be a drug user, be an ex-felon, not show up to work and still keep your job? Congress. Become a congressman. Seriously, it's that pathetic, okay? And these people can give themselves raises. We also need to remove money from politics, but that's a talk for a different time, all right? So I think I'm going to cut this short and wrap it up here. But if you have any comments or want to talk further, feel free to leave comments or whatever. Those of you who I'm friends on Facebook with, go ahead, start a thread or something, and I'll respond to it if you tag me. But anyway, I just would like to say one thing to everybody who thinks dividing the United States is a viable solution to solving tax problems. By the way, the federal government does not take most of your money in taxes. Most taxes are derived at the local and state level. Anyone who owns property or a vehicle knows this. Okay? So to all of those who want to divide the U.S., I just want to say, have a nice day.